Aziz Light.
Hey Explorers, I'm Jessica.
I'm Robert.
And today on Exploring the Local Life, we are going to talk about our Airhead Composting Toilet.
Composting toilet. Some people might feel uncomfortable.
Perhaps.
With composting toilets.
But not us. We have actually, I have been dreaming about having a composting toilet for ages. I have felt very strongly about it. And
I was cool with the idea.
Took a little convincing, but eventually he was on board. And I think most of you have already heard that we received ours from GeoAstro RV. They knew that we wanted one, and they saw how it could take us to the next level of boondocking, like for real.
And even partly boondocking when we're at a campground like we are right now, where we have electric, we have water, but no sewer.
Yeah. So basically what has happened is now that we are not really using our black tank for our waste,
black water,
our raw sewage, we have been able to connect the gray and the black tank together to create one huge gray water tank, essentially.
Yeah, it is two tanks. Still two tanks. We haven't physically modified the RV, but we're able to, just with a new sewage waste gate, been able to join the two together. So hey there. So we're getting a any smells with the composting toilet. This is the big question, almost the biggest question.
This is our cat.
Other than
this
does
is our
a cat
Tinky,
care
of
about
course.
it? Well, here, let me act like a cat has been doing, which she go ahead and move her.
This is ridiculous.
Our cat has not done this.
Right. That weird stinky smell thing that they like to do.
Yeah. So any smells. So there is a smell because you have a media to do your number 2 into. So there are 2 products that are used with composting toilet. The first one, which is the most compact and convenient one, because everything in an RV is limited in space, is a coconut husk brick. Basically, it's dehydrated coconut husk. It's packaged into a brick about, maybe 10 by composting toilet. And the other item that is used is peat moss, sphagnum peat moss, not just any old peat moss, but sphagnum peat moss. However, that is generally available in larger quantities. Like we were in Wellington, Texas. We had gone through our first brick of cocoa core, the coconut husk. And then we had to get something because it was time to throw out the good stuff. And it was like a
very large and heavy,
very large,
and awkwardly shaped.
Yeah, like
rectangle.
24 by 18 by 18.
It was insane. But the thing with that is you do less with it because it's already been semi-hydrated. You do have to add a little bit of water to it, but it's not like a condensed, dried chunk of the cocoa core.
And then, Cavis, you may think I haven't answered your question, and that is correct. I have not answered your question. What does it smell like?
It smells like earth, like dirt. You go outside, grab a handful, stick it in your face. That is what it smells like.
Yeah. If you don't have too much water in there, with the composting toilet, we can also discuss this in a second. But your solids tank is typically dryish. You don't want it dry, because then it's just going to be dust, poo dust, and that's not good.
Right.
But the smell is as if you are in a greenhouse. If you're out in the forest, if you're out in nature, it does not smell like, and it should not smell like, human waste. If it's smelling like that, something's wrong.
Correct. And I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, and the type of composting toilet that we have separates the solids and liquids. That is definitely key to ending up with some sort of weird sludgy. I mean, you end up, that's pretty much raw sewage. That's what ends up happening when you're adding that much water, urine to the solids.
Yeah, so that's something, if I may interrupt, you're not buying just a bucket where you pee and poo in.
No, that is
an option.
That is an option. Some people do that. There's also
literally, it's like a bucket from Home Depot with a
right, like the humidor.
Not humidor, baby.
Humidor.
My cigar is going.
This cat is just lovely and driving me nuts. But there is a modification where you still can divert the urine to from the solids. But there isn't like a crank handle on that. Ours does have a crank handle.
Yeah. So one thing that you'll notice with the Airhead or the, what's the other one? Nature's Head is that they are not cheap. We're looking at about $1,000 just for the basic unit by itself. And the thing is, these are well engineered. This is high quality materials with diversion ports for the urine to go into. I mean, you can be a big person and this will support your weight. No worries.
Absolutely. I mean, actually, the thing that surprisingly, I dump it out, and if Daniel happens to be around, he's like, "Oh my gosh, what is that smell?" I'm like, "Dude, it's all our urine."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Please make it stop." I'm like, "As soon as I pour this out."
Yeah, you get the smell when you're disconnecting it from the system, and then when you're taking it out to sprinkle around, or to the RV campground toilet, and you dump it into the toilet and flush it away.
It's various ways of handling the urine.
Yeah. So we're not going to go into exactly.
No, but I will tell you guys a funny story. This has happened to me twice. We've had this for now installed and functioning for 2 months. And actually in the last 10 days, I didn't empty it soon enough. And it was like up to here. And I disconnected it, and there was absolutely no way for me to I would have had to dump it all the way with everything flowing out. But I was trying to be cautious, and it ended up running down the backside of the urine container and onto me.
Yes, and we have testimony from other. There's one that's empty.
Choose the empty one.
Choose the empty one. Choose wisely. Yeah, when you're going out and you're dumping these out, you're gonna get some on your finger or on your shoes or on your pants. You know, you just got to do your best to keep that urine. Check over there.
In the meantime, you can do a show and tell with the peat moss.
So here's a bag of the peat moss. We have about 3 more of these because we had to break open the sphagnum peat moss bag to do it, and we just couldn't have that huge block taking up space. So we've broken it out into different bags, and they're hiding around the RV.
Various locations. It's
the Skye would make Scottish whiskey, or Ireland would make Irish whiskey, and the water flows through the peat, and the peat moss is beautiful and green. Well, this is
that's too much. You guys see
way
any
too
dust?
much. Way too much.
Way too much. So this is so
there we
show
go.
and tell.
Yeah. Hardware in Childress, Texas.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So it's not dirt, but it's peat moss.
Right. So yeah, this is definitely something that can be used in the garden. And look, it even has a stick in it.
Nature.
I was gonna say it's what's for dinner, but let's just think that.
You know, I think it's been said before, like being in a greenhouse or a nursery. And these, both the Airhead. Go ahead. Actually, this is one of the urine containers.
Now this is an awesome little supposed peephole here that you should be able to see the level.
It'd be nice if it was all the way down.
It would grab it, nice dump it, and what happened to me when I was. That way? This is how I dump it.
You dump it the other way.
I don't dump it. I dump it like this.
Like this. Watch this. Pivot. This way you have. Okay, whatever.
Sure I dump it like this, and when it was really full, it trickled down the.
You gotta do it the other way. Husbands and wives, we don't agree on everything.
But basically, we are happy with our composting toilet. You know, it's funny because I say this all the time. People ask, why did you guys, not even the composting toilet, but why did you even start RVing? And, it was to simplify. When we were thinking about it, it was to simplify our lives. And when we have a larger house for RV maintenance, repair, taking care of our waste, where, when you live in a house, that's nothing. You never even think about it.
Flush the toilet and that's it.
It's gone, whatever. Maybe you have to scrub it clean, obviously, but that's about it. There isn't all this. I think, living in the RV makes you really think about your life and day-to-day things that most people don't think about. Most people don't want to think about it. For me, though, I like it. I really like knowing how much water we're using.
Yeah, it actually makes you very conscious of your resources and how much we use and misuse resources.
Absolutely.
Electricity, water.
Yeah, some people are like, oh, those folks at RVing, they're not environmentalists. They're horrible. They're whatever. There's pros and cons to all the life. But
I bet you most folks that are in a sticks and bricks house usually literally might use 1,000 times more water than
I have no idea because there isn't really that much of a. I mean, you get your bill, but you just pay it off. You're not really paying attention to how many gallons you're using, how maybe you can conserve water. Like with the composting toilet, my goodness, the amount of water that we're conserving, you know, using clean water for clean purposes as opposed to our waste. I just I feel personally better about it. And
yeah, 100%. For example, when we would go boondocking without the composting toilet, we could maybe last 3 days of fresh water, and that's being careful. And now when we go boondocking, we easily can go a week.
And we had even tried. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Please, yeah.
We had also tried turning off the water pump, so when we flushed, there wasn't water. Just we would use like gray water that we had collected in the sink to flush stuff down and stuff like that. So we even tried those things, but it just didn't even seem to really make that much of a difference for us. And really, our bathroom is never. I think it's just making us better. Yeah,
very conscious about what we do. Let's take a quick break.
We do have some questions.
To Duwaka. Hey.
What?
Duwaka.
Oh, hey guys.
And then we have Minivan Mike. Hello, all new. Oh, welcome. Welcome to the channel.
Yes.
So I take it you have a minivan. And then finally, the big question, David Horak, would you give us an update on your truck? Can you read the screen, or are you wearing contacts?
I am wearing the screen, and I can wear I'm wearing contacts.
Okay, good deal. We'll get to the truck in a little while. If y'all see anything flying around,
it's a ladybug.
Ladybug. I think we have a couple ladybugs in the house. Hey, way beyond the norm. So we'll get to the truck here in a few minutes. We wanted to first hit the composting toilet. So like we were saying, it makes you very conscious about how much water you use. Part of the RV life, it has reinforced just how good you have it in a house, the sticks and bricks. Not that it's bad in an RV, but back to what we're thinking, in a house, we didn't worry about our roof unless we had a tornado come through or a hurricane nearby or a massive hailstorm. In a travel trailer, you're always wondering, do I have a leak in my roof? You're checking it. You're watching for leaks. Slide motor. We still have a slide motor that we haven't fixed in how many months now? 5, 6 months? All of months. It's a couple $100, but we have a truck to take care of. And what else? The plumbing. I mean, even the plumbing underneath the tub needs tightening. I think I need to get back under there and make sure it's still tight, because I think it might be not so tight.
Yeah. Oh, something that has happened that is kind of curious and we need to do research on is the fact that when we have had the gray water flowing into the black tank, when the black tank has gotten full, it seems that
there's no safety valve. Unless you have in the floor, our black tank, basically where you used to sit, where the toilet used to sit, is not sealed. We just have a little plastic cap on it, not even a screw on. That one, not have to build a platform so we can sit high enough to go over the top of that thing. So we have had gray go into the black, and then the levels come up, and the water in the black tank has.
Because that tube fills up quick when you're.
Yeah, you get no warning. We might hear a gurgle. That water is getting full, and that we're done.
You're basically washing your hands and you're like, what's that sound? Oh my gosh. Turn everything off and you've got water. I mean, the good thing is that we have had many iterations already of the gray.
Overflowing into the bathtub.
Also, the black tank isn't nasty, funky, nasty black tank. It's not a black tank anymore. It's a secondary gray tank. So it's not. It's just gray water that's coming in, but still.
Yeah, we're gonna have to find a way to seal the top of the black tank so that if it does overflow, the gray tank will do its job and overflow into the tub.
Yeah.
So work to be done.
Yep, but otherwise, we love our composting toilet and are very happy to have it.
Yeah. Now about the mechanics, you want to talk about the mechanics of going number 1, number 2?
No, I did not. I wanted to move on to questions and wrap it up.
Okay, we can talk about that later.
Yeah, because we do have a video coming up where we actually change out the
toilet that it came with.
The dry.
No issues with the kids. Yeah, no issues with the kids using the composting toilet.
No,
from day one they were all about it.
We actually had some friends come and visit. They are not RVers. And Nadia actually gave one of the boys who's a little bit younger than Daniel a tutorial on how to use the toilet properly. And
I gave Josh a briefing and he followed it to a T. Yep. Actually, no, Nadia did, and I re-verified. Yeah, and then I re-verified with him that he was good. He was like, "Yeah, I got it."
So it hasn't been an issue. So it's been great.
Well, there is one piece of equipment in addition to be able to do number 2 successfully. Just want to get it out there real quick. You want to buy some large coffee filters. because that's where you do number 2, and then there's a hatch that opens, and the coffee filter with your product goes down in there, and then you turn the handle.
Right, so that we don't have all kinds of icky, smeary residue that you're.
Yeah. All right.
All right, so we're going to answer some questions now, and then we will be wrapping up. Update on the truck.
Yeah. So yeah, the black tank does have residue, but you want to rinse it out, rinse it up, rinse it down. Get in there.
There's a black tank flush.
Yeah, we have a black tank flush that runs it. So the question is it 100% clean? No, that's why we still handle our gray water as if it is black water. You know, we're cognizant that we're not, you know, for example, in some places you can drip your gray water out into the forest. We have not done that since we have had the gray and the black together. Once we get in there and do it even more cleaning and even more flushes like this, eventually we'll be able to use it like that, but we don't right now.
Yeah, and also when, I'm sorry, my nose is itchy. Live, sorry guys. When it has overflowed, we have had blue gloves on and
lots of bleach,
lots of paper towels, lots of bleach, and that garbage immediately has gone out and everything's been decontaminated, whatever, and the bathroom closed off and sealed for some time, so that could all evaporate. And like it's like a Jessica set off a chemical bomb of whatever when the 2 times that has happened. But
overall feelings about the composting toilet, we love it. It is fantastic. Again, with our type of camping that we prefer being out in a boondocking or being out in the middle of nowhere without being hooked up to plumbing, it's a wonderful tool for that.
It is. It is. All right, truck update.
Truck update. Because what they did was they have to take off. Well, not all they have to, but 9 times out of 10, when an automotive shop is doing the head studs, head gaskets, all this work, they literally take the front of the truck, the entire passenger occupant section, off of the frame. Ooh. And then it gives them all the room they need to work. Jessica's putting out a link to a photo on our Instagram of basically what they do with the body of the truck. They lift it off and off they go. So come Monday, it will be put back together. We will have a fully functioning Mjolnir. And thanks to folks that have donated to us via PayPal, folks that have donated to our GoFundMe, money that we've been able to take out of the budget and move it toward the truck, we are now 65% of the way there.
Yep.
We just made another $500 payment today. We did a $4,200 payment.
More than that, $4,500.
$4,500? The first payment?
Plus change, yeah.
Within today?
No, when we first did the
40. I thought we paid $4,220.
I thought it was $4,500.
Okay. Anyhow, so we're the bill is $7,800, and we are 65% of the way there. Yes. So this is very exciting. We are on the downslope. The truck itself, what they've done to it is called there's bulletproofing, and I was reading some comments on a previous video, actually on Facebook today, and they were asking, "Oh, are we getting the head gaskets done, and a new turbo, and a new this, and a new that?" No. Bulletproofing does not involve getting a new turbo or chipping. Those are all extras. We are doing the head stud, the head gasket head studs, the new. We should have brought up the invoice.
I don't know.
Anyways, so the head gaskets, the new head bolts to make sure everything stays nice and tight together. The big top of the engine. That's we have the block and the heads, right? Head assembly.
I don't know much about truck engines.
Oh my God. And then, of course, some other things that we're doing to help the truck from having future failures. A new oil cooler. So
we have the bulletproof list in another video that we have. Right, it's called F-250 bulletproofing
parts list.
So that's what everything that's being replaced.
Yeah, so I apologize. Look up that video. It's like 1 or 2 videos back. And we go into item by item what the parts list that we're getting done to the truck. So yeah, it is going to be there. Yeah, expensive. But here's the thing: is
extensive.
Extensive.
Extensive, not expensive. I mean, it is expensive, but extensive. It is well worth.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Yeah. So beyond the standard actual engine head gasket job, we're getting a Ford Power Stroke that they stopped selling in 2002, I believe. But it does the job. It's a physical fan clutch. And another thing is a filter for our coolant, because we're getting a new oil cooler, and the Ford oil coolers in this engine are known to get blocked up with sediment and other garbage that your hoses get old and it blocks up the oil cooler. There are other more expensive solutions that totally remove the coolant to oil filter cooling system, but that's another $2,000. And is it really necessary when you can just put a coolant filter system? I'm getting too far into the weeds now.
Yeah, I don't know. He lost me.
I'm sorry. Anyhow, we have about so we've $4,500 into it. We have another $3,500 or so to go. So we're
$3,000. We've paid $5,000. We have another $3,000. We paid $4,500 and we just paid $500 today. That equals.
I don't think we paid $4,500 the first time.
We did.
$4,280. And 21 cents.
All right, there's a little bit of
so it's about $3,500 to go.
The account. Anyway.
Because here's the thing: if you're a diesel shop and you do these hugely expensive repairs, and then people say, "Oh, can I pay in installments?" and they don't pay you, well, they've been really screwed over several times in the past. So, until they get paid.
Yep, but we're getting close, and we appreciate you guys helping us out, supporting us, kind words, any of those things. We did provide a link here in the live chat. There's 3 links there. Oh, excuse me, 2 links. One is a photo of the truck with the top off, and then the GoFundMe if you guys are interested in giving us a Christmas present.
Okay. Yeah. So now, Asher Stanton, are you asking about the coffee filter or coolant filter for the F250 6.0?
He says coffee filter, I think, at the top, doesn't he? Right here, coffee filters. There we go.
Yeah, coffee filters, and then last bit about the filter, getting ready to build my own. Okay, so on a composting toilet, you have a plastic hatch that opens to let your number 2 drop into the bucket that then you churn with a.
If you're building your own, you don't have to do the churny kind. You can do a more simple bucket with a plastic bag, so you can just take it and go. And what you do want to have is to have a urine diverter, because that will save you from having a really nasty situation happening with too much moisture and the like in your bathroom, because you keep the solids dryish and you keep the liquids totally on another side. You'll be fine.
Yeah, and the coffee filter, that is for on the Airhead. When you do number 2, you poop onto the coffee filter, then you open the hatch, and then everything falls into the poop bucket, but no poo has gotten onto any of the plastic surfaces. And plastic's not even the right term. It's a resin. I think the whole thing is a very high strength resin.
Yeah.
I hope that
it's because our internet is semi-jacked up. It only lasts for 2 hours, and trying to upload an edited and really amazing video with all kinds of footage and clips
takes longer than 2 hours.
Longer than 2 hours, and at this point,
yeah, we were going insane Jessica was going insane trying to upload a video like 3 weeks ago, and every 2 hours it would cut out, and we have to start all over again. And finally, after literally over a day of trying, we actually drove to my office. The kids were running around having a great time. Super Dave was happy with the kids, but then we were able to upload that video.
Right. But thank you guys so much for joining us. We appreciate all your awesome support. Leave any questions in the comments. And if you are catching this on the replay, let us know that you caught on the replay.
Yes.
And yeah, ask us all the composting toilet questions you'd like, and about our truck as well.
Yep.
And we will catch you guys later.
Check out the GoFundMe. And also this morning at 8:44, we were on Big Cheddar News. It's one of these new post-cable networks. There's the Cheddar and Big Cheddar News, and we were interviewed about the RV lifestyle. So check out our Twitter feed and our Facebook, where we have a link to a truncated portion of the interview.
Yep.
It was lots of fun. Super nice folks.
Yeah, they don't think RVers are crazy, or if they do, they only said
they were very nice about it. Actually, it's a positive news network.
It is.
But not being positive. It's just, let's not be jerks about it.
Guys, bye. Bye. We've had several coffees, 3 today. Bye.